Peace and blessings, family is on once again. It's your favorite power couple in the building. King, Amari, and Queen.
Amari.
In the building. Yes, we are back off of our vacation. Grand rising to you. Baba Ray Wilkinson in the building. Thank you so much for tuning in, Baba, sharing your positive vibes. Grand rising, Auntie Viv. Auntie Viv is in the building.
Auntie.
She the Queen of New York. What's going on, Queen of New York? Queen of Brooklyn's. Shame on the brother. We try to run game on the brother. Brooklyn's.
You know what?
No doubt, family. How everybody doing out there? Thank you for tuning in to your Power Couple Mental Fitness Program. Again, today we have a very powerful message for you on today. We're talking about the pathway to enlightenment. That's right, the pathway to enlightenment, family. We're going to talk about our spiritual walk. As we always say, we are here as Iwapele Ministry Movement is to provide you with spiritual, your financial, and your physical wellness. And on the day, we're going to deal with your spiritual wellness. That's right. We're going to talk about having a higher consciousness on today. We're going to share some experiences with you on today as it relates to our spiritual walk, how we developed in our spiritual walk, and how we develop in our spiritual talk. That's right. So, that being said, we're sponsored by Al-Kebalan Lifestyle LLC. We provide African men and women's clothing. Make sure you go check us out. It's our anniversary.
Yes.
It's our anniversary, family. That is right. It is Al-Kebalan's anniversary. This is our 3-year anniversary.
3 years.
3 years. And it's because of beautiful people like you that we're able to stay in business. So make sure you go on over there and check us out. Remember, we have some wonderful springtime t-shirts for you out there. Okay, make sure you go check us out. We also have some cap and t-shirt sets. Make sure you go check those out. Again, sponsored by Al-Kebalan Lifestyle. We buy African men and women's clothing, urban men and women's clothing, health and beauty products for your needs. And after this commercial break, we'll be right back for your weekly program.
Yes.
Service your African men's and women's clothing, accessories, health, and wellness product needs. Visit alkebulanlife.com.
That's right, family. So we thank you all so much for your love and support. Everybody who shared and invite. Okay, thank you so much, everybody who purchased. We thank you again. We were so grateful. We're so humble. We're so honored. You know, our first year of business made 6 figures, you know, because of your love and support, family. That's right. Because of your love and support. You understand?
Business.
We know without the people, the vision and the dream would perish. As I like to say, if you had a singer without anybody to listen, where would their career be? Nowhere. So without you, family, we would be nowhere. Yes, indeed. So once again, thank you so much for helping us to reach that 6-figure mark and also helping us to reach that 7-figure mark, because we are going into the multi-millions, family. Woo-hoo! That's right. We're going into the multi-millions. You understand? The law of attraction.
Yes.
You know, you believe it, you speak it, you
Receive
do the work,
it.
you pray and perform until something happens. And guess what? Something will happen as long as you do that. So we're celebrating. Thank you so much. So celebrate with us. Hey, Queen Fizzy is in the building. Thank you, Queen Fizzy, for tuning in. One of our beautiful sisters, Goddess Tammy.
Yes.
Or is in the building, teacher, motivator, Thank you so much, Queen. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll appreciate that, family. It's because of beautiful souls like all of you out there that we have been able to reach the six figures, to be able to write the checks.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to hire individuals that look like us too. You understand?
Yes.
So the dollars circulate in the community. So I promise you that you are sowing into good ground. Okay, you are sowing into good ground. You know, we love you all. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
For helping us to reach to the top. And as you notice, when we go to the top, we take you with us. So anybody who knows us know that. When we go to the top, we go to the top together. But before we begin, I want to say Majuba, you know, to our Gungun, our ancestors. Okay, we want to give thanks and praise. So we want to say Majuba Gungun. We want to say Madupe Gungun. Thank you so much for laying down your life so we can have a better life. We want to thank our Gungun who fought to maintain and to regain our traditions, spiritual, physical, financial wellness, additionally, our land. So we want to say Madupe Gungun. Thank you so much, ancestors, for doing what you do, because it's upon their shoulders that we stand. In fact, economically today, it's because of them paving the way. They were the pioneers. They paved the way for us. We reap what we have not sown.
That's right.
So it would be remiss of us not to give thanks to them.
Absolutely.
Because they laid down their life so we can have a better life. All right, family, we getting ready to dive in. Thank you so much, Queen Fizzy, for sharing. We appreciate your love and support continually, my sister. Also, our good sister again, Queen Tammy. Matter of fact, you make sure you guys tune in to the event. Queen Tammy, if you are out there, sis, still, if you would be so kind, please put the date and the time, the information out there where the sisters can join the Women Empowerment program you guys have going on May the 14th, if I'm not mistaken, on this week. All right. So you sisters, if you're out there, queens, you want to make sure you don't miss that phenomenal event. Okay. Again, it's on May the 14th. Okay. Queen, you know what time, baby?
I believe 7 o'clock. If she can.
Okay.
If she can add it, probably prior to 7 o'clock. I just don't.
All right. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, man. Hey, my brother, Daryl King, Daryl Arnold is in the building. Hey, man, it's all good, brother. It's all good, man. Thank you so much for tuning in, King. Want to make sure we acknowledge all you beautiful souls that's out there tuning in on today. Okay, again, fam, we're going to talk about the pathway to enlightenment, okay? On my journey, as I began to study, as I began to grow spiritually, I began to understand that this walk is personal. Okay, this walk is personal. It's not between you, humanity, and the divine. Okay, it's between you and the divine. And the divine, okay, has blessed us to be a blessing to humanity. All right, so we have a direct connection with the divine. Okay, some people, they call the supreme creator by various names due to language. Okay. Some people may say Allah. Some people say Olodumare. Okay. Some people say Yahweh. Okay. So with that being said, we're all talking about, contrary to popular belief, we're actually all talking about the same deity. Okay. This is arguable amongst certain individuals, but linguistically, I began to understand that that's the only difference. Okay. Is the language barrier. That's it. You know, the supreme creator, the creator of all things, the creator of the universe,
God,
period. You know, that's who we all, those of us who seek out this supreme entity, we are all seeking out the same entity. Okay. And so what happens is, you know, you have certain teachings, okay, that disrupts that and start causing dissension between all of us who are children of light. Okay. And so, you know, unfortunately, darkness gets thrown on individuals who are people of light because of miseducation. Okay. And so because individuals become miseducated, okay, they misunderstand. And when they misunderstand, they miss it. Okay. And what you miss is the fact that when you have people who have a right heart, we are all on the right path and we all want the right thing. And what is that? peace on earth, goodwill towards men. This is what we all seek for. And that's why it's so important for us to grow in our consciousness, because unfortunately, if we do not do this, what'll end up happening is we'll find ourselves being very judgmental of somebody who is of the same like precious faith. And this is something that I come to find, that the Buddhist wants that the person that practices Hindu wants that.
Peace,
the person that practices
joy,
Ifa
happiness.
wants that. The person that practices Islam wants that. The person that practices Christianity wants that, right? So what we have to do is be mature enough, like Sister said from Escape, what I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate if you don't hear what I say? You see what I'm saying? So if we just take out the time to know the whole matter before we come to a conclusion, we'll come to find that we are on the same path. And that path is for us to do good, right? To go about doing good, to seeing about the poor, seeing about the sick, okay? Seeing about the needy, okay? Taking care of the community, making our community, and not only our community, because I won't limit it to that, but that'd be doing us all as children of light a disservice, to make this world a better place before we all inherited it. That's right. And if we all just simply take out the time to listen instead of dissing, right, and find each other's position, we will come to find that we all have the heart to do good. We all want to see people live their best life.
That's right. Well, vast majority of us.
That's the truth.
Well, it should be that way.
Talk about it. Say what's on your heart, baby.
Oh, yeah. You was doing good. I'm sorry to have interrupted you. but you're right. You're right. Sometimes we get into a space where we say, our way is the only way. And if that individual doesn't think like us, if they don't talk and walk like us, then something is wrong with them. They're going to a place that's going to burn with brimstone and fire. And I mean, that's just the way you're taught. That's the way you believe and things like that. But what I do need for us to understand is that it come a time where we should respect others. We should respect others and their beliefs. Like we said, there's language barriers. Some of us are from different countries, and it does not mean just because your religion didn't permeate, that continent, that whole continent is going to hell. You know what I mean? But it's just time out. It's just time to try to understand, the different walks and talks and things like that. And once you take a peek in it, as my king stated, you'll find out that their basis is love.
That's right.
It's being honest.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's being understanding. It's gaining wisdom and enlightenment. It's going up another level. It's not staying on what we call sometimes the third heaven. It's not staying here to bicker with you. They are trying to elevate in their mind, their space. They're doing whatever whatever it takes to get there. They're meditating, they're fasting, they're praying. You know what I'm saying? They're shining a light in their own heart. Some might say it's the chakras. You may call it something else, but that does not mean that it's not around about the same thing used in a different terminology. So, but one more thing, it's always easy to judge and talk about what you don't know. I've been taught, I grew up as a Christian. I was taught all kind of stuff, had me scared to even inquire about some things until I grew up in my understanding. And what happened is I did inquire. And when I inquired, I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And as I prayed and it bear witness with my spirit, then, it was all good. So
now, family, dealing with even different perspectives, right? A lot of times we're saying the same thing, but we're saying it a different way. A lot of times somebody is not wording it with so many words. They're saying it with less words. But yet what I come to find is that we're actually conveying the same message. We all understand that corruption of the heart is what causes corruption in the world. We all understand that we had to be transformed in our minds for the betterment, okay, of ourselves. And as humanity betters their thought process, as I always say, we live the way that we think, right? So when we think better, we do better, we have better, and then we'll see a better environment. As we as human beings work on ourselves as individuals, and as we assist one another as a collective to have a higher consciousness. Why is this important to have a higher consciousness? First of all, how can you really get a higher consciousness? Understand this, right? You can't get to higher heights with information that keeps you at a lower level.
Talk about it. It's a weight.
There you go. If it doesn't cause you to elevate, okay, and it causes you to descend instead of ascend, then it's not good for any of us whatsoever, right? So in order for us to have a higher consciousness, you have to get it from on high.
Talk about
you have to be endowed with the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the divine from on high, without the interruption of humanity. Listen, once humanity gets involved, humanity messes stuff up. Every time. And this is the reason why we have so much confusion and division, because let the truth be told, it's a lot of opinion instead of wisdom, okay? Instead of divine inspiration from the supreme creator, okay? The creator of all things, from the higher power, if you will, okay? What happens is when you start getting humanity involved, now you get the judgmentativeness. Now you get division. Now you get confusion. You understand? And so it causes a severance between us. Humanity. This is not just about an ethnicity thing. This is a within thing. It's not an outside thing. This is an inside thing. And what I'm addressing is the heart of humanity. Because what I come to find, if we all be honest and we tell the truth, that nobody's skin affects their within. Okay? It's not your skin that's causing the problems in this world. It's not the skin that's causing drug addiction. It's not skin, okay, that's causing rape and molestation and racism, okay, and colonization and communism. No, it's not nobody's skin. It's what's within that's causing the problem. It's the mentality of an individual. It's not limited to an ethnic group. It's not limited to a skin pigmentation. Is what it is. The result of it is the eternal problem that we see with the outward manifestation of what happens when somebody is not living right internally.
Lord nature, pleasing it.
Because let the truth be told, I have been done wrong by my own kind. I have been done wrong by people that look like me and don't look like me. So that's what lets me know that your skin has nothing to do with what's within. It's a matter of the heart that we're dealing with. And this is a problem that's plaguing humanity on a global scale. A true spiritual person doesn't limit what's going on in this earth to just an ethnic group. This is why spirituality is so important, because you get a better understanding of what's actually transpiring in this world, right? Let me see what you're saying out here. I want to say blessings to Brother Wade. Thank you so much for tuning in, King. So we're talking about a pathway to enlightenment. See, enlightenment meaning, okay, enlighten, inward, your consciousness. Light means to have an awareness of. Now you're brought to an awareness of what's actually going on. Once upon a time, I didn't walk in the spirit, I walked in the flesh. I wasn't thinking about the spiritual realm. I just indulged in things that gratified my lower nature. Okay. I didn't live my life by moral principles at one time. And when I didn't do that, guess what? I raised hell. I raised hell. If you understand what I'm saying to you, I raised hell. I wasn't trying to bring heaven on earth. I brought hell on earth because of the way that I was living. Okay. I wasn't living by moral principles that governed my moral compass. So because I was living by corrupt principles, what is the result of that? The result of that is living a corrupt life.
That's the fruit.
That's the fruit, corrupt fruit. A good tree can't bring forth corrupt fruit. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. So the seeds that were planted in me, which is corruption, it bared the fruit of corruption.
Manifestation.
Because I exposed myself to gangster rap. I exposed myself to hanging around the gangsters. I exposed myself to hanging around the drug dealers. Okay, I became the environment that I planted myself in. So the only way that I could grow is being a person that lived a reckless life. And so with that being said, I began to wreak havoc in the earth. Not many people want to face the realization that they are actually the problem. See, when you become truly enlightened, you begin to understand that the issue is really yourself.
There it is. The enemy in me.
That's what you really began to understand. You began to understand, I have to work on me. And this is what a lot of people don't want to do. See, truth is a mirror, and guess what? That mirror shows you not only other people, it shows you too.
Talk about it.
Huh?
That's right.
And what happens is people love the truth until it's about them. Oh, it's fine when you holding up the mirror of truth to other people.
But when they get on your foot.
But when the reflection of that mirror, the universe starts showing you, you want to flip it back. You don't want to see yourself. You want to see somebody else. You don't want to get your life in alignment. You want to blame other people. Now, not to say that the wrongs that have been done to us, it caused us to be in a certain state in our heart, right? You know, again, as I aforementioned, some people have been molested, some people have been raped, some people have been cheated on, right? Some people have been verbally and physically abused, right? So now we go from being this child of innocence to adult children now. And now because of the things that we have experienced in life, it has did what? It has put a damper now on that innocence in our heart now. Now, because of our experiences, we've experienced what? Trauma now. So now we got to deal with the trauma that we have experienced, and we have to be realistic about the things that has occurred in our life and how we got to start dealing with cleaning our own house out.
Absolutely.
Right? We have to clean our own. I'm talking about the dwelling place right here. This is your temple. This is your dwelling place. Yes. This is where your spirit dwells. You understand? And your flesh is not you. Your spirit is you. And I'll prove it to you, because if your soul leave your body right now, the flesh will hit the floor.
On the ground. Which
means that that's not really you. So you have to work on the inner you. You got to work on the higher you, your spirit, man. And don't misconstrue what we're saying about the higher self. The higher self means that it's your spiritual being, which is higher than your flesh, which is once when you tap into your divine, okay, with your spirit, man, you start walking in the spirit, then you have a higher what? Consciousness.
And you can tap into things that are unseen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now you can grow in your knowledge and wisdom and understanding, because a lot of us don't understand why certain things happen in this world. We don't understand this. Well, this God is so good, then why did this happen? How many of us would be honest and have asked that question before? If your spirituality works so well, then why did we get enslaved? Let's talk about it. Let's have these real dialogues. Let's put it on the table. Let's keep it real here now. Huh? How many of us ever question if this God is real and if this is the God of salvation, then why didn't this God save us from the colonizer? Right? Let's put it on the table for reasoning and for discussion. Right? Couldn't we challenge everything then? Couldn't we challenge religion? Couldn't we challenge spirituality too? In all fairness? But see what happens is, here's what happened. Because of what religion taught us, we have a religious scope in trying to live a spiritual life. We have a religious scope that we're looking at the world through, trying to live a spiritual life. And guess what? I love you, and I have to break the news to you that this entity is not what man thinks. Let me tell you something else. That this entity has been boxed in from man-made theories,
ideologies and traditions and doctrines.
Yes. Our minds have been framed, and we have this picture of this supreme being or these entities by way of what? Teaching. Right? Because how many of us have really truly had an interaction or have seen this entity outside of the flesh or outside of doctrines that we have been taught that this entity is and the mannerisms of this entity?
We only know what they told us.
Only know, thank you,
first,
what we're taught. That's all we know. We only know what we're taught
until we have an experience.
Until we have an experience with the divine. Let me tell you the only reason why I believe in the spiritual realm is because of what my queen just said. Experience. Now, I cannot tell you whether or not this entity is male or female because I have never seen this entity. The only thing I know is that I've had some supernatural experiences.
That's right. That's amazing.
That's all I can tell you. The only reason why I subscribe to the supernatural is because of visions, because of dreams, because of speaking prophetically, okay, and seeing these things actually come to pass, okay, because of practicing the law of attraction and actually seeing these things manifest. So this is the reason why I subscribe to certain teachings, is because of what I have actually experienced from being a person that's a practitioner of these things, not because of what I've been taught, because of what I have experienced. So some things I can't even prove to you that I've actually experienced. For instance, a dream or a vision. I can't prove to you unless I told you, listen, I had a dream about this. Like my wife, she told me some things that actually have happened after she had told me it actually happened. You see?
Actually, I've seen these things. That
she actually seen it. She actually seen it. Okay. Yeah. Now life is like a movie, and I know some of you may not be here yet, but I just want to just touch on these things. Okay. Life is like a movie. When you're watching the movie isn't happening then, it already happened.
Absolutely.
So it's not something that is current, it's past tense. not present tense. So when I seen things, the things that I seen already happened. This is what leads me to believe I must have been here before.
It never manifested to the natural. It happened in that higher state of mind. You can see it in that higher state. You know, I always say that it happened in the spirit before it manifests in the natural. You know, I just wanted to get that point off. And I just wanted to say also that my husband, or my king here, he is just so on it. I wrote a list of things that you need to obtain and acquire in order to gain a higher consciousness. And the things that he was saying in order to gain a higher consciousness was wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He even talked about having an experience. He even talked about, you know, learning things and having insight. You have to basically still yourself and remain humble so that you can hear, you know, what is being spoken to your spirit. You have to know for surety. You have to do this thing in practice through meditation. You know what I'm saying? Through fasting and praying and things like that. And one thing about, you know, obtaining higher consciousness, like I said, it's okay. I mean, you can go into prayer, you can talk to the divine, you can talk at the divine, but there's a point where you need to have some communication where the divine is speaking back to you. What good is a conversation to a supernatural being if you cannot take the word of the supernatural being to be spoken into your spirit so you can do what you need to do here in this earth realm while you're here? You know what I'm saying? So it is imperative, if you want to attain higher consciousness, it is imperative that you humble yourself, that you open up your eyes and your mind and your spirit. And let me explain to you one thing that the divine explained to me some time ago is that we put, just like my king said, we put this spirit that we call God or what have you in a box. It was explained to me that the spirit can speak however it wants to speak. It can speak however, it could speak through numbers. It could speak through verses. It could speak through the Buddha. It could speak through whoever it wants to, or whatever it wants to, or whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? But you have to be so keen in this realm that you're able to pick up. There's some things that happen, and I was praying, and we needed some insight on our business. But it wasn't until, it wasn't because, it was because I knew the divine's voice, and I had this communication with this one that we call God, that I heard in my spirit what we needed to do at that time. And I can tell you from just that one being that king that we made probably over $70,000 over that one word that we heard in the spirit. Now, if I had heard that word and say, oh, I don't know if this God, I got to go check 66 books in the Bible. And then by the time I get finished reading the whole Bible, trying to find that one word, the door is closed. That's not good. We have to do this thing we have to practice this thing daily. We have to open up our spirit daily. We have to open our ears daily. We have to quote affirmations daily. Do you know that the words of your mouth can help you elevate? You know that the words of your mouth can help you go to higher heights? Do you know that they can cause you to fall down into a hole? We have to, we really, 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 really have to be cognizant and conscious of the things that we say and we do.
That's right.
And I'm going to say this right here. Back in, I believe it was November. I believe it was November. A test came my way. I'm sad to say that I flunked. You see what I'm saying? I flunked the test so bad till I was ready to go to Fifth City. You see what I'm saying? So after the test, I said, look here, you need to do some spiritual work. You can't be flying off the handle. You done came down so low that what this individual said to you is causing you to about to catch a charge. So here we are again in May, and a test arises again. And I remember in my spirit from the last time, and I did not yield to temptation. That's how you know when you have elevated. When a test comes and you're able to leap over the walls, When a test comes, when you're able to go through that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So without your higher consciousness, without you knowing or in your spirit that these things are there to hinder you, you will not be able to make it to another height.
And with that being said, family, we're getting ready to close here. Just understand again that it's personal, okay? And man will put a cap on you. And this is the reason why you have to transcend. And it's a verse that I heard growing up, but unfortunately, a lot of people are captured by this very same verse. They're thinking about somebody else, but they're talking about themselves, unfortunately. And it says, you teach traditions and doctrines and commandments of men, which makes the word of the divine of no effect. Okay, it makes it ineffective. It makes the word of the divine ineffective when we start lacing, okay, the higher powers power and start minimizing it to man's theories and theologies and teachings. Okay, what we have ultimately done, unbeknownst to us, is if we have minimized the power of the divine. We have actually boxed in not only ourselves, but we actually have boxed in the power of the divine.
The power.
Okay, because we've been taught that we're leaning to our own understanding. And if we start thinking, we're not acknowledging the divine. You understand? Whereas the Creator gave us a mind to think. Okay? It doesn't make sense for you to say it's wrong to use your brain, because if that be the case, then don't eat no more.
Talk about it.
Don't eat don't use your mouth, because if you use your mouth, you sinning. If that be the case, you sinning using your eyes. You sinning using your ears. So plug your ears up, plug your nose up, or blind your eyes, close your mouth. Don't use your hands, don't use your feet. Okay, don't use none of that. Because if it's wrong to use your mind, then it's equally wrong to use every other extremity that the Creator has given you. I hope you understand. It's humanity that puts a cap on your spiritual evolution. It's man that tells you and speaks on the behalf of this divine entity, like as if though they know the mind of this divine entity, they know every intricate part of the intellect of this divine being. I highly doubt that anybody has that type of relationship with this higher power, because our mentalities have been influenced by these spiritual teachings that we've been taught, by these religious teachings that we've been taught. And you know what we do? Because this is the way the mind is programmed, to go no higher than the education that it has been taught. We put a cap on the divine and say, well, nope, God said this. Nope, God said that. No. A man said that God said.
And you put a cap on everybody else.
Yes, and put a cap on everybody else, including yourself, and keep yourself in this religious confinement and even these spiritual teaching confinements, okay? And you find yourself going bananas because you're trying to figure out which way is right. You understand? You will go crazy trying to figure out which way is right. This protection spell, this protection, I need to wear this stone. I need to wear that stone. I need to put on this jewelry. I need this spell. You will go crazy. You understand? Trying to figure all these things out. Once you find out from your own personal connection, your own personal experience, okay, your own personal sensitivity to, listening to the voice within, okay, and following after your path, okay, you will be less confused when you start listening to yourself and stop listening to everybody else and just start living your life path and following the direction, okay, the roadmap to your life, and stop trying to follow after somebody else's roadmap. And that's what I'm closing with. Keep it personal.
Keep it personal.
Keep it personal. That's it.
I like that.
Keep it personal. Move man out the way. Move all these religious teachings out the way. Even some of these spiritual teachings. Okay, because guess what? Again, I don't care how long it's been around. Okay, man is still man. And when man hand get involved, man will mess it up every time.
You can't even hear God forgive him.
Every time. Man. Every time. Okay? Personal. Personal. All right. Love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you tune in on Friday. Okay. We come on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Daylight Time. Okay. So make sure you stay tuned in for your Power Couple Mental Fitness Program. On Fridays, we do relationship empowerment. So make sure you stay tuned in on Friday, whether you're married, you're single. Okay. You're thinking about getting married. Okay. This program is definitely for you, man. We talk about some empowering topics of discussion. So we love you. We appreciate you. Stay tuned. Have a blessed rest of your day. Yes. Okay. And we will see you
Friday.
On Friday. Peace out, beautiful people.
Yes.